In capital markets, the term white label refers to a financial product or service that is developed by a specialized entity but marketed by another under its own brand. So far, that definition is correct, but it is also incomplete. Because when people talk about white label, many reduce it to a matter of branding, name, design, or market visibility. In reality, however, the concept goes much further. It is not only about how the product looks, it is about how it is built. White label is, in essence, a delegated infrastructure model. Within this model, the promoter does not develop the entire architecture required to issue a financial instrument on its own. It does not build the legal structure from scratch. It does not design every operational process internally. It does not directly take on every layer of regulatory compliance. Instead, it relies on an issuing entity, an issuer such as Altarius AT, that already has a structured, validated, and operational framework in place to bring products to market. That completely changes the logic, because the point is not to create everything from scratch, but to integrate into an infrastructure that already exists. Now then, what does that delegation actually involve? It involves transferring critical functions to that infrastructure, such as the issuance of the instrument, the legal structuring, the preparation of regulatory documentation, compliance processes, and the operational setup required for the product to exist and function within the market. In other words, everything that allows an instrument not only to be conceived, but also to be executed within a regulated environment. However, this is where one of the main misunderstandings arises. Delegating does not mean transferring everything. The promoter does not disappear within the structure, nor does it lose control over the product. There are functions that clearly remain under its responsibility: market positioning, distribution strategy, the relationship with potential investors, and oversight of the commercial approach. Because infrastructure enables execution, but it does not create demand. That is why, to properly understand the white label model, it is essential to distinguish the roles with precision. On the one hand, the issuer or issuance platform provides the infrastructure, supports the issuance, and ensures that the instrument functions within operational and regulatory standards. On the other hand, the promoter defines the value proposition, builds the positioning, and determines how that product is presented and distributed in the market. These are not interchangeable functions. They are distinct layers within the same structure. In other words, white label in capital markets is not simply a matter of branding. It is a way of accessing infrastructure that is already in place to structure and bring products to market, with distinct responsibilities at each stage of the process. And if you would like to better understand how this logic is articulated within a structured and regulated framework, we invite you to explore our website, altariasetti.com, and learn more about our approach.